Today we are here to celebrate love, not as some abstract concept, but as a living reality in the relationship of Joe and Denise. They met when they were juniors in high school, not far from here. Denise told me that she knew early on that he checked all the boxes. And Joe knew early on that he was in love because he kept feeling nervous around her, getting overheated at times. And so perhaps it is appropriate that on their first date, Joe picked her up in a Honda CRV that was smoking from the hood. But Joe strategically parked the car with the hood facing away from her, and sure enough, she never noticed. Now that's love.
So as it turns out, Joe and Denise had a rough time finding people to make a toast today. And that's sad. A lot of people here. They asked their most charming guest, and they said no. They asked their best looking guest, and they got a no. They asked their most reliable guest, said no. So the fourth time they asked me to do a toast, I figured I should probably get out here and make a toast for them. Now seriously, Denise, you are beautiful inside and out. You're extremely intelligent, and you are so welcome into our family. Even though multiple times when you've been at my house, you have strategically placed your sneakers in a place where I would break my ankle, fall over the couch. And as I picked them up in a fit of fury and I tossed them into the abyss of my basement, I did smile knowing that they were yours and I wouldn't want them to be anybody else's. You are amazing. And Joe, I've always said you have been wise beyond your years. You're way more mature than I am. You're the hardest worker I know. You fill the room with energy every time you enter it. Sometimes it's good energy, sometimes it's bad energy. But you fill the room with energy. And when you're gone, the house is empty. But I have one big question. Your friends, what's up with your friends? Justin Squio? Come on, you couldn't find anybody better than that?
I was trying to think of something, to say to Joe in terms of what we might know as a recipe or a formula for success for marriage. I'm a banker and I have a few friends here that are bankers tonight, and we can't help but trying to put things into an equation or a formula of some sort. In any relationship, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be smooth. There will be agreements along with disagreements. And for example, let's start with the easiest one, scenario at least. Denise is right plus Joe is wrong equals Denise is right. That's easy. That's the easy part. But it gets better. Sometimes there will be situations where after discourse and conversation, it sounds like Joe is right. And then you have a good point. It's logical. So Joe is right plus Denise is wrong. You know what that equals to? Denise is still right. So it gets worse and it gets more complicated. There will be a situation where, after talking things through, you realize that the other one has a point and you have a point and you both agree that you're both wrong. And it's time to move along, right? Okay, so Joe is wrong, Denise is wrong, equals Denise is still right. It's just that it's the way it's gonna be. But the worst part of it is when you're both right. You know, like, okay, you know, Joe was right. He made his point. He said everything he wanted to say. Denise said everything she wanted to say. And it looks like everything is right. So Denise is right plus Joe is right equals Denise is more right. And it's, you know, you're going to be a little bit wrong. But that's just kind of how things are going to go.
We're here today to take the final step in this great relationship and make it everlasting. I knew from very early on that you were the one for me, and you have only solidified that feeling the longer I've been with you. When people ask me how I feel about getting married so young, or say it's too early on in life, my thoughts and beliefs about this matter have never wavered, but rather I wish they could experience the same love, joy, and trust that we provide one another. As time separates many couples, we chose to grow together rather than apart, overcoming whatever life has thrown at us and coming out the other side stronger together. The result is what we have, something pure and true, where we're not only lovers but friends. You are truly my best friend, and I look forward to spending the rest of my life with you, wherever and whatever that may look like, as long as we're side by side.
Joe, when you were 17, you were handsome, smart, funny, hardworking, loved and cherished your family, surrounded by great friends, and overall just a great person. Today, at almost 25, you are all of those things and so much more. But also, aside from the obvious things, I promise to work on slowing down, learn to live in the moment, and take a pause once in a while from planning every second of our future together. I promise to stop leaving out the coffee creamer and everything else that I touch in the kitchen. I promise to learn new recipes, as I know the pasta with ground turkey 3 nights a week is getting really old. I promise to prioritize my joint health so I can keep hiking with you despite already having knee issues at the ripe age of 24. I promise to one day tolerate living in the middle of nowhere for you, as you've been wishing for. And Joe, I can't wait to fulfill these promises and spend the rest of our lives together.
By the power vested in me by the state of New York, I now pronounce you husband and wife, and please seal the bond with a kiss. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Resnick.